Hello and welcome to the latest Project Spark Beardwatch 2013 live developer stream. We're looking a bit shaggy.
And it's getting brutal. Like, I am like a week away from Zach Galifianakis. Like, it's not looking good.
You know, we're all going to get used to it and gonna like it or something.
We need to get that beta out.
So my name is Mike Lesko. I'm the community manager on Team Dakota.
I'm Henry Sturchy, creative director on Team Dakota.
And I'm BJ Holovinsky. I'm a senior designer on Team Dakota.
And we want to we're doing a stream a little bit early today, so apologize for anybody who maybe showed up at the regular scheduled time and is catching this on replay. We have the Xbox One launch party. It's kind of a really exciting time around here. Although a lot of people had their Xbox Ones in hand, and we're still busy working on Project Spark.
This is the most amazing 2-3 week stretch of gaming in probably history.
Oh boy, yeah.
So let's get the beta in that run.
Yeah, both consoles launch and the Project Spark beta. That's
man, somebody's chanting Giants.
That's a time to remember.
That's
oh
right.
boy.
So we got a Giants hat, a Jets hat, and a Seahawks hat.
Hey, at least I'm local. I'm not wearing my Patriots hat.
And it's 117 degrees in here and 25 outside. So none of the climates are actually matching.
So we're gonna jump right in and do our obligatory intro.
So I'm going to jump into our blank slate mode. Project Spark is where players create and creators play. You can see here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to manipulate the world. I'm going to be able to make my own games, movies, stories, and lots more. We're playing on Windows 8.1 with an Xbox 360 controller. We are going to be available on Xbox One, Windows 8.1, and Xbox 360, and you're able to use mouse and keyboard, touch, and controller, the Force, if you can do that, and you have the midichlorians, and just about anything else. So here I'm going to build our obligatory U-shaped hill. There's been some requests for an X-shaped hill, so we might improvise on that at some point. But you can see I can build my own worlds, I can change everything in real time, I can go ahead and I can paint, I can fill in the world. Let's go ahead and fill in the world super quick here, since we always take like 15 minutes to do this. And you can see that the paint wraps smart around the sides. It's got a little underhang texture in here for the little tunnel that we made. And we're starting to make a cool little play field for our little character. I can not just add stuff to the terrain, but I can actually put in rivers and I can take away things from the terrain. And then we can use our really cool biome brush. Our biome brush lets us put objects and paint into the world at the same time. So you can very quickly and easily fill out your scene. You can see here we've got some cool trees showing up, some little critters will show up, and some rocks and stuff like that. And then I can go ahead and just start putting some objects into the world. So I go ahead and I pick the little quick tool gallery. You guys have seen lots and lots of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put a house in here. You'll see the house automatically comes with power, so its chimney is already sort of working. I'm going to fill in the rest of our little land here. And then I'm going to show you you're very quick and easy, one step away from being able to test what you just made. And here you can see we've got some default items. My character here can punch, can shoot some fireballs, can do some dive rolls, jump, double jump, can jump in the water and swim. Whoa! Woo! And just like that, you're already running around in something that you've made. Now, one of the most amazing things about Project Spark is that every object in the world has a brain. And that brain is very easy to program, and it has a visual programming language. So you can pretty much do anything you imagine, and you can see here we have a when and a do side. So we always keep it pretty simple here, and we start off saying when, and then we say detect player. So very quickly and easily you can put these tiles in, and those tiles create behaviors and actions and bring things to life. So let's see, when this detects me, I'm going to go ahead and say let's grow, and I'm going to put a modifier on it, and I'm going to say %, and then I'm going to throw in a number. And we'll say, I can just grab one of the default ones, 10%. So when it detects me, it's going to go ahead and it's going to grow 10%. And actually, let's go in and let's make it a little bit bigger, I guess, because 10% is not going to be enough. So let's put in a new number. Let's throw in like 100. All right. So now, when it sees me,
Wait, did BJ just type that in?
we did.
Oh, there you go. Multiplayer announced.
That's right. So here's our little house. And when it sees me, I'm underneath and inside, and it's too big. Let me out. So let's fix that real quick and make it a little bit smaller. But as you can see, just about anything in Project Spark can come to life and have a brain and do the unexpected. So let's do 50. Thank you. Co-op.
Achievement unlocked.
Bloop, bloop. And I'm going to be trying to be careful. Oh, still in it. Too big. So that is our intro to Project Spark. And let's go through some of the stuff that we wanted to show today. We've got a couple of cool levels that are starting to show up in beta.
Quick question that keeps coming up before I forget. People are asking, like, we showed how you can take and like a bunch of our items, put them together as a prop, make it a single item, things like that. What they want to know is what happens if you scale that.
If you scale all the glued together items, they will scale uniformed as glued together.
Okay.
And then when you take them apart, they will return back to their original size.
here's the edge case. So what if I have something made as small as it possibly can get, and then I put it with a bunch of things that are really large, I prop it together, and then I try to scale it down?
I believe it scales from that point on.
Yes.
So you can scale smaller than...
No, that'll still be clamped. So the bigger things will get smaller, and the smaller stuff will never go smaller than the smallest size.
So then if you scale it, then your thing will be out of proportion.
Yes, but you can't get things to be like microscopic. There is a scale minimum and max.
Okay, not the answer I expected, but good.
Yeah, and the min-max is custom for each prop as well.
Right. That's
Okay.
true. So BJ, let people know some of the stuff that you've been doing and things like that. So we've showed some of the content packs before, but the content packs are about more than just giving people items. They're about creating experiences and opening up other genres, and that's some of the stuff that you've been leading and doing every day.
Can you
That's
just
correct.
talk a little bit about maybe, Henry, about where these, how people get these, where they come from, what the intent behind these are?
Oh, so the items that we're going to show right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a variety of different ways that you can earn what we call credits throughout playing, creating, and in general, we want all of our players to be creators and all of our creators to be players. So we will be rewarding creators very heavily because that sort of is our goal. 4% of the people, 2% of the people creating. Project Spark is accessible for everyone. It's super easy to create. So we want 99% of the people creating.
Right.
And part of the idea around the credits and some of the other systems in the game is all about this this idea that everybody can create and get rewarded for it. So as you get these credits, you can do things like buy our giant content packs that are like an entire new haunted cornfield. You can buy any of these individual items and put them in your levels and stuff like that. So this is like the IKEA item showcase. There's about 40 or so items that you can unlock with these credits, and this is a cool room that the team has built to show them off.
Now, will some of these be, like, are these tied to Spark levels, or are these...
Yeah, so some
Yes.
of them have Spark level requirements. So
Some of them you are just not?
Some of them. So here's the situation. So we've got for beta, we're looking at about 50 Spark levels that as you play and collect and create challenges, you level up through. And the idea is that as you level up, you can unlock more and more options in the marketplace and earn things. You can use tokens, which you can buy real money to unlock things like the big content packs. But these items, we actually want people to just unlock from playing. So you can only use credits on these.
And
those
by playing, you
stuff
mean
learn.
playing and creating?
Playing and creating, correct.
Correct.
So the idea is that there are some of these things that have caps and that have level requirements and stuff like that. So as we've talked about, we're listening to feedback, and we've got a lot of feedback. And there are people that are concerned, hey, there's some really cool stuff in here. How long is it going to take me to get some of these really fun things I want? So what we've done is, instead of sort of rationing them out so there's one per level, what we've done is we've got like 8 or 10 things from level 1 to 5, and then like a bunch of stuff from 5 to 10. So we sort of made their distribution a little bit more flexible and gave people more freedom to do that.
So one of the concerns is that if I level up and I get one of these things and I buy it and I put it in my level and other people don't have it, because obviously I'm the first guy to 50 because I'm
Right.
awesome. The concern is
cheated.
or I cheated. The concern is that people won't be able to look at my, use my level, and therefore, because I'm just a glory hound and I want people to play my awesome stuff, I wouldn't want to put that in. So
Right.
is there a plan to address that?
So, we are constantly evolving. We're constantly adding new things and, listening to feedback and adjusting things and stuff like that. So, there's going to be a lot of updates. There's going to be a lot of things coming in throughout the course of beta. And one of those goals is for the very, very near future, right after beta goes out, is to update. We want to do some stuff. We've got some performance optimizations. And one of the things we're going to do is have these items, which we call loose items or credit unlocks, not count towards any of that stuff. So if somebody puts a level 50 loose item in your level, we'll let everybody be able to play that, and they won't be hindered in any way.
And that's a good point to point out. I mean, especially the very, very initial round of beta when we get in, not everything is going to work exactly how we want it to. A lot of times what we're telling you guys is what we plan to do. Not everything will be in, so just kind of keep that in mind.
Now, I play devil's advocate here because when you were first looking at this system, you actually saw a pretty cool thing that the community's been asking for, and that is if you do get yourself to level 50 and you unlock one of these items, you can kind of intentionally keep the amount of people that are able to see your work in progress or something pretty low.
To remix it? Yeah, because they couldn't do it.
So when beta starts, you would have that ability. But we think that there's just so many of these, and we really wanted these things to be a reward for everybody. So we want to make sure that we encourage people to feel rewarded by it.
Yep.
Okay.
So what we're going to see here is what we're currently calling our Season 1.
And you can break all the things. They want to break all the things already.
And break it!
Stop spoiler alerting, everybody.
We're calling these our Season 1 credits unlocks. We plan to roll out Season 2, Season 3, just keep these things coming. One of the cool goals about this is that some DLC packs, say like the Haunted Cornfield, they get sewn up and they are what they are, and a lot of times, just like making movies, you have like your scenes that get, on the chopping block. They're on the scrap floor, and so sometimes we just aren't able to get those items in, and so we're able to offer them here as companion pieces to those packs. That's one thing that's kind of cool. So if you get those kind of items, it'll help boost your Haunted Cornfield per se. Another thing that's really neat is when we design these DLC packs, we're also designing some of these companion pieces as well, which I'll demonstrate as we get down here. You can kind of see these flags way here in the background. These are companion pieces for the castle set. So that's really cool stuff. So I'm just going to jam through here.
And BJ, just to define, so objects can be props. They can be props with effects, props with sounds, and the other cool thing is that BJ and his team put a bunch of default brains on all these things. So there's a lot of cool stuff here that you can take part and parcel with those brains, throw them into your game, and they just work like you see them right here. And that's just a really fun thing. It's like a little playground.
Yeah, and these are really mini packs. I mean, like Henry said, some would just come with a prop, some come with brains, some come with effects and sounds. We also offer characters. Who knows? Maybe someday we can offer a champion in here. You know, some exclusive champion. Okay, so what we have here is the Ancient Grave Marker.
This is an Ancient Grave Marker.
Ancient Grave Marker. These things also have default properties set on them, so they already have their mass set and their melee and combat properties set. Also, if you were to destroy this thing, it'll actually, I think, did we take that out? Yeah, we took that out of this level. Oh, why'd we take it out?
Why'd you take it out?
Some of these things that, of course, they work different ways when you scale them up really big and stuff. We had a guy that made a level and he used this to like line the corridors of his underground earth corridor, and it looked amazing.
Let me try an impromptu remix. So what did you do?
Oh wait, Henry said at the beginning he's like afraid we're not going to have enough enough time to do everything that we need to, and immediately he's jumping in and doing stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I can't remix because we have that bug.
This is the stone hook. This thing's really cool. You could imagine one thing that's really cool is taking these, scaling this thing up, and then like turning them so they're opposing each other, and then you have this really ominous corridor that you're like running through, things like that. Or it's got a little anchor on it, so you could like hook that up to your slingshot or pull that back.
So for those who will be playing the alpha game at home, I was going to do right trigger, destroy all objects, and then let them all
boom.
But
this is the Rock Spire. This thing, you can it works as a stalactite or stalagmite. You can flip it upside down and trigger it to fall on somebody's head, and it automatically, when it destroys, it turns into stone chunks.
I felt like you get really hurt if you fell on that thing. It looks really sharp.
Careful!
Whoa, we don't want.
We don't impale here, except for last time when we made a fighting game with fatalities. Other than that, we draw the line.
This is the Rustic Totem. A lot of woodland villagers like to put these outside of their houses, and they adorn them with props and ward off goblins and stuff like that. The other thing is
this is like the souped-up garden gnome.
Yeah,
for Project Bar.
And the weight on this is really nice. When you flip this horizontal and get it tumbling and coming down the hill, you got a big avalanche of these things, or drop it in the water. It floats really nice in the water. It's pretty cool. This is the Ancient Rock. You can use this as cover as you're like coming out and blasting from people, or like hide behind this thing, or scale it up, shrink it down, wear it as a necklace, make a hat. We have some really cool weapons in here. This is the Knight's Legend Sword. We have the Knight's Legend Shield.
What happens if you pick them up?
And we have the Knight's Legend Axe. They all come equipped and ready to wield.
Oh, yeah.
There's our little goblin spawner over here. The other thing is
Goblin dispenser.
these things are definitely legendary. They're like,
Dude, I love the Goblin
Oh.
dispenser. It just
One-
spits them out of that thing.
Yeah,
That's
one-
Look at that
great.
damage.
one really thing I'd like to highlight about these weapons and their design is the color tinting is really nice. So it's got this crystal on the inside, and then you can see the steel on the outside. But you can turn this into a flame sword, you know, a wind sword, whatever you want to do. And color tinting these get some really nice effects. Make a black sword with red in the middle and stuff.
So one of the things I think we haven't shown too is some of these items can come with their own animation
Woohoo!
as well, right?
Yep.
So when you equip things like a hammer, it can have its own set of hammer attacks. All
We need one of those in the
you got
office.
this guy. Oh,
So the block works.
oh, look at man!
Wow,
I'm
they
getting
check it.
spoiled. Wow, what'd you do?
How did you do that? That's awesome.
The legend
I don't
axe
need
here.
no stinking legendary sword.
It's like, get out of here. Wow, these things are
Nice.
overpowered. Wow.
Let's
DJ,
check.
after the stream, can we make sure we nerf all these?
Yeah. We also offer paint materials as credit unlocks. So this is the wood panel.
Very
Very
nice.
like 70s.
Yeah.
You want to do like a wood pan? If you want to do like the Brady Bunch home and you want to replicate that,
I could see this like on the side of a station wagon or something would be
You
awesome.
could build like a wood panel stand and have a TV that doesn't work on it.
Oh, this is
TV
kinda
that
cool.
Works on top of that.
This is the limestone. You build your own castles with the voxel terrain and just paint it up and build your own voxel castle. This is the fancy brick because it's fancy. This is really nice for making
I love that pattern.
nice courtyards, and yeah, it's a really nice pattern. Okay.
So
we
you've
do-
got some fun things in the level there, so that heals you.
Yep, we got some apples, and I'll get to the leather boot here in a second.
This is my favorite. So this will be one of the level 1 unlocks that you can grab right away if you have the credits.
So this pack comes with the TNT bundle, and it comes with this short fuse visual effect that also has a sound, so you get 3 items in this pack. And let me equip this. It comes ready to equip, and when you toss it, it lights up, bounces around, and boom, does damage. So if you wanted to, remix that, you could go in and throw the energy ring on that and illustrate exactly where the blast radius is going to hit if you were so inclined. Here's a rustic bench because it's fancy.
What is hanging off of it? That is cool.
It's got a little wishmaker crystal.
It's almost like a wind chime. Or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got a nice little whimsy aesthetic there. This is the rustic wooden table. So this will help with your furnishings. You can put some candles on here, or put a birthday cake, or one of our famous mushroom pies.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Okay, this is really cool. This is the leather boot, and what we did was we piped into a brain that comes with the starter pack. It's a collectible speed boost, and so when you pick this up, you can take
That's
off.
great.
And you can chain them together. So if you
The other
grab
thing
another
that,
one, you go even faster.
so we got another one here.
Oh, now we're at ludicrous speed.
We are at ludicrous speed. This is
We've
awesome.
gone to plaid. So, like, one of the things that you've seen is, like, we have this, giant collection of the Woodlands theme stuff, but we really were focused on making sure that people could build great action-adventure games, and that it had a great amount of, like, game tropes and stuff that they could very easily build with. So, we've got default brains that are, like, game over conditions and stuff like that. We've got coins, and when you collect them, they just work. And one of the cool things about the boot is you just collect it, and whatever character you grab it with, it just puts a new brain on it that makes it boost its speed.
Yep.
So here lies the Logic Cube gravestone. So what we're doing right now is we're combining. We had the gravestones separated, but they got really lonely and they were sad, and we wanted you to collect them all together.
Yep.
So we're combining that pack right now, and the sort of the remnant of that is we get this little bug where it switches over to a Logic Cube.
Yeah.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
The other thing, but you can see it does have the show message text on here, and to give people an idea of what they can put on these. Or there's a lot of games that use gravestones for clues and stuff like that, or push the gravestone and find a hidden trapdoor or something. So that's really cool. The other thing this pack comes with that's not represented in here is a grave site assembly, which is each of these put together, and then there's like these cool rocks and everything, and it totally just like boom, instant graveyard. It's
And like
really
DJ
cool.
was saying, is when you combine that with like the haunted cornfield, it gives you all kinds of new options and possibilities and things like that. I actually want to make it a great pumpkin Charlie Brown, and sort of just reenact that and act that out. Is that just me?
Now I want to make the little sad Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, with the one
like-
little ornament hanging from it.
These are some companion pieces for the castle pack. So the castle pack comes with 2 of these, but they're like a sword and wings logo, and this is the wolf. And then of course you can color tint these. You can make the wolf green and the background
So
red
if
if
you
you
want to
want.
change your affiliation or your faction. or
Yeah,
something.
change your factions, and yeah, these are really cool. Especially if you're gonna start doing some capture the flag kind of stuff. That'll be neat.
You could also use them in the festival.
Yep.
In the village festival pack.
Or you could make a balance
Oh,
beam
look at
game
this.
and try not to fall. Oh, into the lava.
You can make Wipeout.
Oh, I missed it.
Okay, this is the curved stovepipe. It's a whimsical stovepipe. The starter pack comes with the basic stovepipe. And then here's an example of one of these props that comes with a power on V effect. So the sign here, I'm going to hit the B button, and what I'm doing is I'm just
Woohoo!
powering on, power off. There's no brain logic. It's just built into the power on, power off mechanic of this here, and I can power it back off.
Yeah, it's gonna get smoky in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need it any warmer in here, please.
Rustic beam.
So this is the rustic beam.
This is the rustic balance beam.
Yeah, rustic balance beam. So
Now,
you
this
can
is cool to make little platforms.
get your medieval vaulting.
Nadia,
yeah.
Nadia
What
Comaneci.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Whoa.
Oh,
Do the dismount.
Oh, he stuck that one.
I'm with a shield, dude.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
These look
Certainly
really
not.
cool when you you can flip them any way you want. You could imagine turning this upright, putting another one opposing it, and then now you have a cool door, or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Well,
Um,
I mean, people would make ships out of these
Oh, yeah.
things, and
Yeah, this thing's cool. I really like
ballistas and
the.
trebuchet. Yeah, the Russian judge is trolling again with their 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yep.
The Russian
Sorry.
judge does like to troll.
Wait do you see the ship? Okay, so this pack is candles. So this is cool. It comes with a candle flame visual effect. Comes with these 3 candles, and then I'm gonna power them on. Oops. So when you power it on, you get the little candle flame,
Ooh, look at
Oh,
that.
cool.
and each one of these has that.
But then you could use the candle flame effect for other things too,
Yep.
because we separate them all so you have that flexibility.
Hey, that's not possible.
Oh,
Just a
it's
flame and
possible. You can make your own Olympic torch where the Russian judge will score you a 4 out of 10.
that's true.
This is the wizard statue. This thing is awesome. Especially when you scale this up really big, it's really, really awesome.
So somebody was asking about physics. So Project Spark actually uses Havoc physics, and you're able to do lots of different things. So we have what we call character physics, which allow your character to sort of behave with locomotion. We have upright, which is sort of, or fixed, that just sort of keeps the object in place. And then we have tumbling, which basically allows you to apply real physics. So what you may have seen with the TNT bundle is that actually had some real physics on it, and it was bouncing and moving around. On top of that, we allow you to actually change some of those physics properties and things like mass and stuff like that. So you can make all types of physics games. For beta, you'll see a really cool, we call it Angry Rodents or something like that, where you can smash down these blocks and objects. So you can definitely play with physics, and all of these objects here, they have default physics on them, but you can change them all.
Yep.
There are no fluid physics right now. We want to continually update and do things like that. We actually did some experiments and looked into fluid physics. It's just something that is very, very time consuming and has a lot of load balances across different games. So it's something we'd love to add in the future, and we want to hear feedback and where people want us to take the game.
Yep. One cool thing to do with these wizard statues is to
Friendly Gaming SM made it. Hello.
have these things when you come into the room, they're just statues, of course, and then boom, all of a sudden, some magician brings them all to life, and then they're chasing you through the level, or you can use these as Pac-Man ghosts or something like that. But they're really cool and ominous. You can put a nice light in front of their mask and get a cool glowing face.
I made a side-scrolling runner game, and those guys are awesome. Those statues are really cool. You know what they're really good for too is setting up checkpoints and waypoints to go through things and stuff like that.
Or you could use them as you could have your little RPG, and there's 20 of these in the world, and
Oh, the collectibles.
yeah, find all 20 of them or something.
So somebody was asking Claude when we can get Claude on the show. So Claude is actually in LA right now doing some new demos. So expect some more Project Spark media coming out. And Claude and a bunch of other people, Tom, and just a whole host of people have signed up to do some really cool beta release streams, and we'll be doing things like taking live suggestions and answering some questions from people in the beta that want to know how to do some stuff and things like that. So we will definitely be seeing more of Claude, more of BJ, more of Tom, more of the team.
Yay! This is a wizard's tent, and this is the apprentice's tent because they're not allowed to sleep in the wizard's tent, so they have their own tent.
No muggles?
Those are cute.
No muggles in the wizard tent?
Yeah. I think it's a little tiny wizard that lives in there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, this is really cool. This is the giant rustic fan here. So this comes with a fan breeze effect, which you can see right here. It also comes with 3 exclusive sounds. There's a power on looping, and a power off sound for the fan. So right now the fan is powered off. So I'm going to hit this button. I'm going to power the fan on, and it comes already pre-brained with a push.
I love seeing the leaves actually blow.
Yeah.
Like on the actual fan.
Yeah,
Watching
the
bounce.
animation on the...
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's really cool. When you flip the fan horizontal like this... Whoa! Let me get up in here. Then we get some cool... whee! So
You gotta do some Devil May Cry air combat though when you bring the enemy on.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, did
let's
that
get
again?
the-
I missed it.
Let's get the Devil May Cry combat.
Oh, okay.
Come on, little buddy. Yeah!
See, without the legendary sword, man. I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
should have that.
the
See, you should never throw away your sword, guys.
Yeah, see what happens?
That's the lesson here.
The odds of that hitting are
Get it.
very low.
Oh, there you go. That was great.
So that's really cool.
So again, like going back to like Wipeout and Crash Course, right?
You can
They
make an
have all those
entire
fans that push you
game
up
just
and
with
stuff.
that, yeah. Oh, now he's got a stone sword. Look
see.
out. See?
We knew we couldn't resist.
Switch out my shield here. This is a lower grade shield, the rustic shield. This thing's really nice too for using as barricades, like scaling these up, and we're making a maze or something like that. These are really cool.
So people are asking about some of the things you can do. So you can customize your characters, you can attach things to your character, you can tint and change the colors of just about anything in the game, change and alter the physics. There's a full visual programming language underneath everything. There's just tons and tons of stuff you can do. You can change how far those fans push you. You can do things like shield dash. You might see that coming in some point soon. So there's lots and lots of different things that you can do.
Yep. This is the wood pile. I really like the stylings of this. It's really neat. This thing's cool. It's a great resource if you want to make like a resource management game and send your little minions out into the woods to bring back wood. You could use this as an icon or something like that, or or of course just decoration. But it's really nice looking. I like the way that turned out.
I missed that you can't destroy it because it was really cool when you destroyed it.
Oh yeah.
So some people are asking about prop limits and stuff like that. We have another level if we have time that I would say pushes the prop limit, but it actually doesn't. The prop limit's in the thousands, and we'll give you an example of what you can build without hitting the prop limit. So we'll actually show some of that stuff, and you'll be able to play around with. I think actually it's 2600 right now. Again, we keep sort of altering it around things like memory, performance, and what we sort of need to build stuff. So that's going to be an ongoing process that we sort of work to see how much focus we need to do on expanding that and stuff like that.
This is the equipment pile. It's recently been renamed to the treasure pile, but it doesn't show up in here. We added a power on effect for this. We're just using an effect from the starter pack, which is the nice ambient, like kind of sunbeam. So that's kind of cool. So from a distance, you could draw attention to that if you're treasure hunting through a maze and you're trying to find this. That's pretty cool. You can just power that off, power it on. This is a reinforced barricade.
And that's another thing I've seen people make some seriously cool stuff out of it. Flying ships, and battleships, and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, you put a couple of these ducks in a row, and boom, you're on your way to building a nice pirate ship. It's pretty cool. It also it's shielding me from cover right now from this arrow trap back here, so we put that there on purpose. Otherwise, if you're not careful, you're going to get owned. All right, so this one's really nice. This is the Magician's Torch. So it also has a power-on effect. And what we did in the brain of this, when you equip this, it powers the effect on. So, and it looks really nice. So you can also use it as a weapon, swing it around.
Oh, that's great.
Has a
Or
cool
if you
trail.
go
Items
to,
sort of have their own sword trails and effects.
or if you go to a rave, right?
Yep.
I'm sure that would be a
That's
huge
true.
hit at a
Turn
rave
the
with
lights
that.
on and off.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing that's cool, you can also just use this as a torch. Like you can line a whole bunch up, and then you can just power them on, and it will, the effect will come on
So
there.
Gunkery asked an interesting question of, can you get around the prop limit by doing something like have an object in the world that only spawns the props you need when you get close to them, and sort of making your own LOD sort of system? You actually could. There's no reason why you couldn't.
And that's how real games actually
yeah,
do
and
that,
we've seen
right?
that suggestion on Reddit, and again, like we just continue to be amazed at like all the stuff that everybody wants to make and how much attention people pay to like how to use the brains and stuff. So yeah, that's something you could do.
Well, I think, in a lot of ways, these guys are going to know the game better than any of us can. I mean, it's a big game. There's a lot of stuff, for any one person to know everything, and I think
Yeah.
our community's like, oh, hey.
Yep. So
Yeah.
people think this is awesome for getting ideas, and I have to give credit to BJ. BJ is like the idea man. We were actually writing up the descriptions for these items, and one of the things I said, hey, we should give like 1 or 2 cool use cases.
Yeah.
And like an hour later, BJ just like hits me with like just like a ton of things, and I'm just like, I must play the game now. Like, must make this stuff.
Yeah, some of these things, if you just see the image itself, you're like, yeah, it's a rock. Yeah, but there is, you just kind of look at it from different angles. There's a lot of things you can do with these. Going back to what you guys were just talking about, with like the make your own LOD or whatever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
One good practice to get into is, destroying, like, if you're making a game where you're like moving through an area and you get into a new area and you've closed that area off behind you and you can never go back to it, and say that's your design, it's a good practice to, like, when you go in there, since you're just closing that area off, just destroy everything that's in there, and you'll just you'll free up your space and everything, and those things aren't going to be back there drawn or anything. And
So we didn't change the settings.
Like
the
clean up.
graphical settings.
Oh, we may not have gone back through them. So
Can we change them now, or
what's
will that
happening-
break everything?
It might break things right now. So what you'll see in beta is, and we talked about this before, the first update will have some performance improvements. We know that we want to get some of the more entry-level graphics cards and stuff like that a little bit faster, but the minimum specs that Mike put out, the game is still very playable on, but we really strive that everybody can have a great experience. Me personally, I love 60 frames a second, but we absolutely want to at least try and get all the entry-level graphics cards and stuff like that to a really good experience. So what we've done is, based on your graphics card and your processor and stuff, is we dynamically give you a default setting, and there's tons of different things you can control, like shadows, how far things are, how much of the scatter is drawing, the overall resolution, stuff like that. So go into your profile, go into options, and you'll be able to tune all these things individually. And one of the things that came up when we put this in was some of our Twitch streams are actually running at medium resolution. So that's one of the things that Mike wanted me to note. So when you get into the beta, which hopefully very, very soon, I really want to shave. You'll be able to go in and customize that stuff and be able to, min-max things and stuff like that.
Can I control sound yet?
Like sound levels?
Yeah.
No, we don't have sound level control in right now.
Why would we have that? Crazy.
But in the actual brain, when you apply a sound effect, you can control things like pitch and volume and where the sound is generating from.
yeah, and you can control like the radius that you hear it in and that kind of stuff.
So I mean, as far as we're not actually like frame locking the game, but we are doing some frame locking for the gameplay. So if you were running like a crazy high frame rate, you would still have a similar gameplay experience. But in general, we don't necessarily frame
Next
lock.
stream, let's remember to change that.
Yeah, we could probably do it after this real quick. We might be. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Okay, so here we have the player statue. You can do whatever you want with it. You could use it as an icon to represent like a one-up if you're making a game that has lives or something like that, or you could use it for multiplayer. You could make one red, blue, green, yellow, have icons, whatever.
We have our obligatory
We
over
just have-
9,000 references going off in chat.
Yeah.
Over 9,000 Dragon Ball Z!
Stone question mark? I don't know.
So a couple people are asking about equipping. You can make characters that equip items from the very start of your game. You can equip items from in the world and have them pick up. You can make enemies. You can make objects equip items, essentially. So yeah, you can pretty much make anything you want sort of equip items.
Yep. We go through each item and we try to put hold points on them, so when you do equip, so that it's not just like if we don't specify a hold point on our end under the hood, then he's going to equip it at the root, and a lot of the objects, the root's either in the center or sometimes it's at the bottom depending on the object, but that's where he'll equip it by default unless the object has a hold point specified on it. And that's one of our processes. There's a lot of content. We try to get through all of them, and we prioritize with, like, obviously the swords and the crossbows. Those things need hold points right out the gate, but it is our mission to make sure that everything has like a nice solid hold point, and throughout beta we'll be updating a lot of those and stuff, and
Right.
maybe someday we can give the users the power to specify where they want the hold point. That would be awesome.
But even if you don't use the equip tile, you can still attach things to the object in any way you want, and that's one of the ways to equip even items to an inanimate object, for example. So you could equip a sword to an inanimate object and have it turn and stuff like that, and then say when something bumps the sword, do damage. So there's lots of ways that you can make creatures and inanimate objects equip.
Yep. Whoa! Owned. Okay.
So
here we
Halo
go.
Fan for Life is asking, can you affect the physics of your character? Absolutely. So there's different ways to do it. You don't even have to go into the program to do it. We have a properties menu on all the characters, and you can change movement speed, jump height, double jump, no double jump, single jump, attack damage, combat. You can do things like time factor to change their animation speeds. So there's tons and tons of things you can do to customize your character's gameplay.
I'm gonna grab some health over here. The arrow trap
Yeah, you're getting
got
kind
me.
of honed up there.
Okay, so next up is the arrow trap. This thing's really cool. It's basically using its trigger volume out here. It's not the detect trigger. It's actually the trigger volume, which
So objects have different
Oh,
sensors.
good thing
Yeah,
there's
three
that
cents.
barrier
Yeah,
there.
it's got-
Right, so objects have different sensors. They have a trigger volume, which generally defaults to very small. You can do things like put that behind an item, so you can do things like stealth, sneaking up, and triggering stuff. It has a C and it has a detect. And you've got different cones and things like that, and you can change all the radiuses. Yep, you can do a triple jump. Somebody's done an infinite jump.
and we have a bump
to the
sensor. So
sky.
there's four
Right,
sensors
that's true.
and the
There's a
bump
bump
sensor.
sensor.
So this one's using the trigger touched, and this particular trigger you can offset from the item. It's the only one of the sensors that you can do that with, and it's just set up to like it's got a little tell before it shoots. It does a little shake rattle and plays a little visual effect. And then with the brain that it has, all you got to do is go in this thing real quick, and then you can just instantly tell it to like change it
Shoot
from shooting.
squirrels.
Yeah, shoot squirrels, shoot whatever you want. These are cool for putting overhead, or you can use this to make like have flames come out of it, and then for like 5 seconds, and then you got to wait and then go past it or whatever. But this is kind of the all-purpose projectile
Can you go in
launcher.
and get hit by it?
Again?
Oh, you're gonna die.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to see him die.
yeah.
That works.
Okay, so we got some traps coming up here. So we're in kind of the trap realm. So this is the spike strip. So this one comes with it's pre-coated with a brain that if you hit the sensor, then boom, the spikes come up. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound or not, but it does come with a power on and power off sound. So you'll want to jump over these. And then of course you can code them to do whatever you want. If you just want the spikes up all the time and then put these as like make some cool big samurai toad thing and have these on here with some spike strips on his armor or his hat or something, you can do whatever you want with them, but that's what they do by default. This is the spike wall. Same thing, except we coded this one so that it's on a timer, so it's just every few seconds they come out, they go in. This one works really well when you flip it horizontally and put it in the ground, and then you can scale it and everything. You can make
bury it in the ground.
Yeah, make an entire floor of these, that you got to jump and navigate through. I'll go ahead and get hit by it for you. All right. This is another sign. This is a info sign. It comes with the show message brain from the starter pack. It's pretty cute. You can almost use that as a, you can use that as a platform, flip it down, make a little bridge out of it. Okay, here's the Woodsman's handsaw. This thing's really awesome. So, let me grab this. So we have this one using the agile / knife style attacks, which are really fast.
That's crazy.
So I'm gonna carve up a couple goblins here.
Well, a few. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I'm the Flash.
Just imagine what it would do to wood.
You can make those old lumberjack moves.
That's all I want to do. I want to make a game where I do nothing but chop lumber all day.
Somebody's done it. It's been done.
Has been done?
Okay, so the rustic shelter over here. So some little campgrounds kind of stuff. These are also cool to if you're trying to make vehicles and ships. All of these work really well for making sails and things like that. This is the hunter's canopy. You can chill out under here, put a campfire out here, make a little campsite. This little hunter shelter, if you're trying to make like a Star Wars desert skiff thingy with Boba Fett on it and he falls into the Sarlacc.
I have actually flipped that over and made it a boat too.
Look, it's a boat.
And then you can be on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Oh, I got
I'm
my
on a
flippy
boat.
floppies.
I'm up there. This is a fan favorite around the office right now. This is the lightning strike.
I think they're already fan favorite here on stream.
So this thing is really cool. It automatically impacts the ground. Comes with really cool sound effects. One thing we did with these a while ago, it's not in here, but we remixed this and we added it so it triggered the little flame patch from the starter pack, and it left it lingering there. And so like when this thing strikes, it like you come up and you hit the trigger, and then whoa, and then it leaves a little flame, and then if you hit it, like,
that to me in the one in Haunted Cornfield scared the
Can you
crap
change
out
the
of
color of this?
yes, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah. The difference between this lightning strike and the lightning bolt that comes in Haunted Cornfield is the one in Haunted Cornfield does not automatically have this ground impact. It's just the lightning strike, so it's a little more ambient.
Is that the same sound?
It has a different sound.
That's
The
different sound.
default does it do damage if you get hit by it?
No. That's Remix Opportunity,
Nice.
which is a shirt that I want that says Remix Opportunity.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to make one of those and send it to me, that would be
Nice,
great.
I like it.
So this is a big one here.
Here we
I
go.
love this one.
So this is a exclusive character that you can get only with credits. This is the Horned Toad. He's indigenous to...
Whoa!
Yeah, he's a little tough guy.
Vicious, huh?
He's indigenous to the deserts of Atel, so the desert biome pack that we have, this guy is home to there, but you can put him in your own woodlands or whatever. This one we have set up so that you can see his attack animation. As you can see, he's pretty fierce.
Show them swim.
This one is scaled up so you can get a good look at him. Ah! And then they swim, and they
Oh.
jump into the water, and they swim.
Oh, that's
Good
awesome.
little buddies. This one's gonna...
Oh.
Whoa! Yeah! Oh! Death by Horned Toad.
Oh.
So
you need a
My uncle
legendary
went
sword.
the same way. It was really sad.
You need a legendary sword.
Yeah. So I think that's all we have to show in this level. So
Cool.
You want to try the settings thing? I'm like so mad that we forgot. Of course, we did have to install 15 different builds.
That's
before
true.
the stream.
All right, so let's see. I don't know what we're at here. We are at medium resolution, medium terrain detail, and we've been at normal shadow. So we've been minimizing some of those things, unfortunately. Should we go back into the level we were just in?
Well, let's see
sure.
if we
Oh,
notice the difference.
scale up the toad.
Oh, we can't edit because we don't have all the things.
Oh. One thing I want to mention real quick: that toad, even though you see how small he is, you can scale that guy up really big. And we made a level where there was like 6 of these guys, and they were just like there was like a herd of like these giant horned toads just like going through the
I
level.
totally missed that boot, dude.
I did.
And then we had,
I was trying to play it off.
They're
I know.
shooting baby toads out of their mouth. It's so
Oh,
funny.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Whee!
Cool. All right, so now that we're running in the full resolution here, we've got a couple of stuff that we've taken from the community that's being worked on and coming out for beta. So Retro Reborn will be back, and it's in. We showed Alex's Anti-Smasher game. We have Suspension. I'm going to show Retro Reborn here real quick for those who hadn't seen it before. You'll be able to play this in beta. So this is sort of a twin-stick, old arcade retro type of game.
And why is it significant that this is back, right? Because everybody saw this before. People saw this at E3.
Well, you know, things that were made with alpha, you know, we didn't guarantee that those things would carry over to beta. So, you know, there were some content changes and some other things that we ended up having to work through.
Right, but once we go to beta, you don't expect that to be an issue for things that are made starting
Right.
in beta.
Right. Oh, up.
Nice going.
Sorry about that. Mike's going to get us out of there. All right, we're back. We're back.
Yeah. So one thing too in the starter pack, we've added a twin stick shooter brain that people can use. So you can like get off to the races making your own game like this, like really quick, just using that twin stick shooter brain, just moving and shooting and you know like kind of did the heavy lifting there for you, and then you can just make a game around it if you want.
Right. So somebody made like a Super Stardust type of game. This is really early on. But you can see here, it's another cool twin stick shooter.
That's very cool. Whoop, whoop.
Ah, I gotta get it.
Oh,
And there's power-ups and boost power that comes up. You get sort of twin bullets as you power up, and wave bullets, and all kinds of fun stuff. Have you seen this, BJ?
No, it's cool.
And then
I want to make a spaceship for it.
there is something that just completely blew us away. And this will give you an idea of something with just a ton of props in it. So for those who know what this is, this may look familiar. It looks like a really cool castle. So people are hearing some of the new music and stuff we have. You can go in here, and it's got this cool little sort of throne item room area.
this feels like this should be like where your goal is at the end. You
It
kinda
does.
reach
Like, it
this.
feels like it starts you right at the top.
So I'll mention right now a couple of these pieces that you're seeing right here. This piece, some of these pieces are from the castle pack, And then the knights that you saw in there, those are from obviously the knights pack.
Oh, look at this. That's awesome. And this isn't at the problem it either, is it?
Nope.
So I think this kind of really helps.
So let's go in here and do a edit.
Maybe. You want me to? You want to get rid of that?
Yeah, go ahead. So here's an idea of how big this level is.
What's wrong with the mouse?
Awesome.
Just click the, yeah, you're fighting me.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to fight you after the stream, Henry, not now.
So just click it again.
There you go.
So you can see here, this is an idea of how big this level is.
And, it's just kind of something somebody just thought they'd create for no reason. Because,
Yeah,
because.
why not?
Just because. But yeah, and I think that, we saw this and we're like, wow, holy cow. And it sort of just helps show off and highlight, like, yeah, people get fixated on the problem and stuff. And it's really not, I don't know. I think there are ways you can run into it, especially if you try to. But if you have a goal in mind, what you want to create, we feel pretty good that you can create it in Project Spark.
Are these? This is cool because no, that's
nice
not cool.
going.
Crash,
When I point at the screen, an error.
It was totally
occurs.
you. You want to click that and I'll
That's
turn
right.
it off.
All right. So I was trying to edit to make him triple jump.
Why, Henry? Why?
I don't know.
You always
That's
have
how I
to
do
push.
things.
You have to. Nothing's good enough for you.
That is true. Well, Mike, I think that's just about everything we have.
Did we?
We
What
did
else
not
were we gonna
announce
show?
that Swan Song will be back.
That's what we want. Yeah, that was the other thing that we wanted to say. Well, if we're gonna not show it, I'm gonna make this full screen. So good news is that we did get. I guess Rusty was able to free up some crazy time from his schedule, and he was able to get Swan Song in. So that'll be as soon as you get in beta. That can be, if you want, that could be the very first thing you go to play.
Can you touch that?
Can't touch that. That's not a
No.
touchscreen monitor. What are you?
Oh, yeah.
Man, what is
My
this?
God, guys, we
We don't have any
2013?
high-tech touchscreen stuff here.
Dude, this. You know what?
Mike, what kind of setup do you have? It's 186 degrees in here.
You
We have
know.
no touchscreen.
Let me call my facilities guy and get him on here and see what we can do. But
My
yeah,
ice melted in my water.
it is actually seriously hot in here.
Nice.
So Swan Song is going to be in. Really excited about that. We've got a few other things that we're putting in, and mainly we just want to make sure that the early folks that get in will have some content to kind of look at and play. And as we said before, when we do start beta. The early beta, we're going to try to just get in like a really small group of folks from the community just to get in to test things, and want to make it clear like this is a new thing, it's a new service, especially those first few days. It's going to go down. We're going to have problems. We're going to do everything, and that's why we're not going to roll out big right away. So if you are one of the lucky few that end up in the early one, just please understand that. We can't really make much guarantees on what's going on, but from the people we've talked about, it seems like you guys really want to get in and check that out and see, so that'll be pretty good. So yeah, I think that's it. We got the Xbox launch coming up that we're all going to be excited about.
So we'd love to hear your ideas for future streams and what you guys are looking forward to doing with the game and those objects and all kinds of cool stuff.
And so we were thinking about once we go to... Once beta comes out, we're thinking of doing a stream per day, one per day for an hour, mainly to be there and to just have that open kind of Q&A. So any questions you guys have, allow the community to kind of gather together, talk with each other and stuff. And then after that, we'll probably do that for maybe 10 days in a row. By then, God knows what Henry and I will be like. Well, you'll probably be skipping out. We'll probably have poor Eddie coming in for some of those.
We'll be grabbing Tom Burdock wants to come on.
Oh yeah, we got to get Tom on.
Quite a few
for
people
sure.
are excited to come on. It's just pushing the beta, so now people can hopefully get some time and come by.
Yeah, and then after that, we'll see what makes sense, right? Maybe we go down to one stream per week. Maybe we do 10 per. I don't know. You guys tell us what you want.
And then you guys can stream yourselves.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys think there's a lot of things, I'll set up a Project Spark community channel, and then we can let you guys all kind of get a schedule, and you guys can do it, and 24/7. Somebody from our community streaming on the channel would be kind of cool.
Maybe we'll have some people in on Skype or something too.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in Remix Opportunity shirts.
Yes.
Yes, and Eric in the bakery wants to come by and drop off cookies at some point.
They should. That'd be great.
I'm telling him, like, I don't know. Where's
Have them play
visiting?
through Crossroads and put down the bakery.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that once we get beta going. So, all right, guys, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. you know, we'll give you guys an update on beta probably on Monday. Hopefully, we'll know more. And stay tuned, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday at noon.
Thanks for
again
playing.
coming out.
Oh wait, we get a.